Well, hello, and welcome to my live stream. It's Commander Nutter here, and we're in the Distant Worlds 2 expedition. And in this video, we're going to be doing a little trip to some planetary nebula, which I hope you find interesting. So, without any further ado, we will get exploring. So I am going to go into the galaxy map and just show you where we're off to. And of course, if that looks interesting. Anyway, can't help but look at the lovely things to go and explore. But without any further ado, let's just show you where we're going. Okay, this is where we're off, and inside that rather large looking explosion of a star, there is actually a hidden nebula in there. You can just about make it out, and I've not been here before, as you can see, but I thought it would be nice to go and check it out and go from there. Now it will look different, or should look different when we get there, and I just need to find a nice close star, which probably will be this one, to then view the nebula from, and it should look quite pretty, hopefully. It's not massive, but it's one nebula all the same. So let's crack on and get moving, and we'll stop along the way. And of course, if you're watching and you want to ask any questions, feel free to ask away. I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. And of course, I think I'm getting a bit of double feedback there. We can soon stop that. There we go. Don't know what happened there. Anyway, right, let's crack on. Yeah, and also you'll be able to see any of the techniques that I use whilst I'm out exploring. Oh, and just so happens, I didn't actually realise the next star was a neutron star. So straight off the bat, you can see how I approach a neutron star. Now, if you've not played this game before, neutron stars are what you can use to increase your jump range. And when we get to the end of this little warp scene, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so not been here before, unexplored. Let's just give it a good old honk. It's quite a nice neutron star. So if I just show you my jump range right now. So 76 light years at best, currently 73 in the tank. However, if we perform a little maneuver, which is known as neutron star scooping, firstly I move to the largest side of the streams and angle out towards the end of the stream like so, and then move towards it slowly. No need to rush into it. We don't want to go overshooting and go straight through it, because you have to turn around and carry on scooping, and we don't want to do that. Then I'll get thrown around a little bit. Nothing too much to worry about. And now the frameshift drive is supercharged. Okay. I'm just going to hold that right there and just check the jump range now. And now you can see we have 307 light years. Much better. So we will continue on in 1 second. I just need to resolve one slight technical issue. Will be a moment. I'll just leave you. Let's leave you looking at the neutron star. see what we're looking at. Okay. So there's my anaconda. Let's get rid of that horrible overlay. And there you can see the neutron star we've just used. Right, won't be 1 second. I have a slight audio issue I need to resolve, and I'll be about 30 to 40 seconds. Okay, hopefully that should be a bit of a better experience for you now. Let me know if we've lost game audio. Interesting. Have we lost game audio by any chance? Hi Tritium. Just want to know if my game audio has disappeared. So if you could let me know in the chat, that'd be good, because I want to bring that back if it has. I don't seem to be getting any desktop audio. Why would that be? I'll try and resolve that quickly. Let's try that. Okay, now we've got audio, I believe. No worries, Tritrium. I think I've resolved it now anyway. Okay. So we can carry on with our exploration. Okay, so we've increased our jump range. We did do a honk, so should we just see if there's anything worth looking at? Not really. So we're going to just crack on. So we've got 25 jumps to do to this nebula, and if I was rushing I could probably do that in about 15 minutes. But we'll take a little look at stuff as we go. Don't know if you noticed there, but we've just crossed one of the galactic sections. And if you're wondering what I mean now, I'll quickly show you on the galaxy map as soon as we've just drifted round this star and done a bit of a fuel scoop. Need to top up our fuel, so we just scoop off of the sun. Or star. Okay, we'll just move away from that star a little bit and just see if there's anything worth having taken a look at whilst we're on our way. So what have we got? Nothing of any great interest there for me. We do need to get to the Planetary Nebula during this stream. I was going to show you the galaxy map, wasn't I? Let me just show you that quickly. You can see where we've just crossed over one of the sections of the galaxy. There you go. We were here and we've come across, and we've just moved across that galaxy section there. So there you go. That's what a little message was all about. And this is an F-class star that we're heading to next, as you can see in the top right. And an F-type star is a scoopable star. It's a fairly common star. And while you're watching this, I can tell you that I'll soon be starting my guide to the galaxy. These will be recorded videos, and also I'll mix that up with a bit of live streaming as well when something appropriate needs to be done. And of course, if you subscribe and follow, you'll know when those are coming along. Just 2 stars in this system then. Nothing to really stop and take a gander at, so we will move on. Now, I'm not too adverse to building up a bit of heat. When I've finished scooping, I just kind of get jumping straight away, because you can pretty much cool the ship down before things get a little bit too hot. Thanks, Tritium. I think the audio should be working now, including game sounds. Just double check. Yeah, it would appear so. So yeah, there'll be a whole host of things that I'll be doing in my Explorer's Guide to the Galaxy. So there'll be things like build guides, build projects. One thing that I want to do is do a Let's Build an ASP Explorer, but do it together. So we'll do it from the top, tell you where to get the materials from to do the engineering and all that good stuff. How you can find places to buy the pieces you need for your ship, such as Class A frameshift drives and all that good stuff. And there'll be loads of tips as well, like how to best approach a neutron star for neutron star scooping, and best way to use mapping and all that good stuff. And a lot of the things that you'll see in those videos, you'll probably see me doing in a live stream as I make my way to a certain destination. So we've got 14 bodies in this, so we'll just have a quick look and see what they are. I can tell just looking at the scanner there are three stars, but we'll have a look and see what else we might have. Okay, just a kind of standard type of I mean, yeah, there's some metal rich stuff in there which do pay quite well, but to be honest, I'm not really short of a credit or two. And I'm more of an explorer that likes to find the weird and wonderful, as opposed to the, you know, high payout systems so much. Don't get me wrong, I mean, if there would have been about 3 water worlds there, then I'd probably have gone and had a look at those, because they're always nice to look at anyway. Thanks for confirming, Tritium. I appreciate it. Glad that everyone has now got sound. So anyway, if you do have any questions or comments, thoughts, you know, know, what's your best part of Elite? What do you find to be the best thing? What's the best thing about exploring? What's the worst thing? So yeah, all that good stuff. Other things that I'm looking forward to doing is things like how to deal with high G planets. I saw today that a few seasoned explorers have face planted on some high G planets already and had to start again. So yeah, you can, even if you're really experienced, you can just forget those obvious things when you're coming to land on a planet. Just have a quick look and see how much G it is. Anything above 2G is going to cause your landing to be a bit different to what you're accustomed to. And also, one of the other things that people fall into the trap of is a lot of the planets that they land on are moons, so they don't really have any high gravity, which means that they're used to flying around almost like it was in space on low G worlds. And then when they find that big one with a lot of G, that's when things go really wrong quickly. And sometimes it can take a little while to realise what's going on before it's too late. And so one of the things that I do recommend is that when you build an exploration ship, you make sure you've got enough power to boost, because sometimes that's the only thing that's going to save you. You basically point to the sky and hit boost and just hope that's enough to save you from face planting onto a planet. So there's one thing to look out for. Tritium, best thing, biosignals. Worst thing, biosignal in a ravine where I can't get to with my SRV. Yeah, I do like biosignals when I'm going out looking for stuff. What I like to do is find an interesting viewpoint for some nice photography or videography. And this is why I'm heading towards this nebula. Because what would be nice is that if just outside that nebula, or within it, if it's a pretty nebula, you find a planet with a biosignal or a geological point of interest that will make for a good screenshot or a good little video. So yeah, I think the addition of being able to map the planets and find those spots now is a massive improvement to the game. And I have to be honest, in all the time that they've had those points of interest on planets before we had the mapping that we have now, I never ever found one by using my Mark 1 eyeball. And trust me, I did a lot of searching, and that was really frustrating. So yeah, now we've got our lovely planet mapping tool. Things are oh so much better. Ooh, I think we might have an ammonia and a water world in this one. And oh my word. Oh, we've hit the jackpot here. We're going to stick around here for a while. So let me just explain to you what I'm looking about, or looking at in my scanner here. So starting from the right, now you don't have to be a genius to understand what those signals mean, because if you look on the bottom right of the screen, it actually does tell you. So at this top end of the scale, you've got gas giants. Yeah, the higher the class of the gas giant, the higher up the scale they are. So class 5 at the top, class 1 at the bottom. And then you'll see as we go sweeping down, it then changes. I mean, here we're talking like giant water worlds and stuff, where it says gas giants. And then we're into sort of normal water worlds, which is where that mark is on the scanner. A little bit further down, it says ammonia worlds. So I'm confident, actually, looking at that there's definitely an ammonia world and a water world. Sometimes it can be a little bit out, but I'm confident on that one. Then we've got... No, there's no way that's an Earth-like. That's just a standard rocky ice world, as it says. I don't think it's going to be an Earth-like world. I really don't. I'm going to bet £1 British that it's not going to be an Earth-like. And then we've got some standard icy bodies here. But then, even more interestingly, as we move further down the scale, past the metal rich, which is the very last planetary body signal that you will see, we have asteroid clusters, which there are none. And then just after asteroid clusters, we've got this signal here. And it says concentrated signal sources. Now, in this zone here, that can only mean one thing. It's a significant point of interest, which normally means things like Lagrange clouds or things like that. So that's amazing. We've actually managed to find something like that on a live stream. I've not looked yet. I'll save that one till last, but let's just go and map these up now and go and scan them. So let's see what we find as we look around. Okay, oh, they're not going to be too far away, I hope. Right, let's see what this one is. Oh, it's going to be the concentrated signal source. So, okay, we'll have a look at that one first and see what that is. And there we go, notable stellar phenomena. So we're definitely going to go and check that out. I'm quite excited now. That's always nice. It's a nice find, that. So there we go. Now let's see what else we've got. I'm guessing they're going to be all over here, are they? No? Oh, that's good. So we haven't got to go far to find the rest of this stuff. Oh. What do we have here? Now what I'm doing is as well, I can explain to you something about the lines that you're seeing. When I move away from it slightly, you can see that there are some little hatched wibbly lines. Okay, now the closer together they are, the more certain that particular planet will not have a ring around it. The further apart they get, the more likely that there will be a ring. Looking at this, I really don't think this will have a ring around it. And there we go. So it's a water world as we predicted, with no ring. Super duper. So what else do we have? Wow, nice tritium. Yes, I'm looking forward to going and see what we found over there. We'll map out these other ones as well. So, okay, these are just going to be a boring rocky world. Let's just quickly map out the rest of these. Alright, what do we have here? Okay, so this should be an ammonia world. And by Jove, so it is. Probably got a rocky moon around it. Icy body even. Okay. We've also got something that looks quite close. Now, the reason why I said that looks quite close, there's two things, and there's one way you can actually tell without going anywhere. So this scanner is quite powerful. If I hover over that A1 body and get my target right in the middle, if you look on the left-hand side, it tells you how far away it is. 66 light seconds. And if we move over to A3, 204 light seconds. So you can get quite a lot of information just from this scanner alone. So anyway, without further ado then, let's come out of that view. Have a look at the galaxy map. Let's get out of the orrery view. Look at that nice little selection of planets there. We'll go on to details. So it's not a terraformable water world, they're the most valuable. Then we've got the ammonia, and then just some icy bodies. But of course, the one thing I'm sure that you want to see right now, let's just quickly map these out first actually, and then we'll go to the piece de resistance last. These won't take long to do, and that means I can show you how I go about mapping planets. And they're not too far away, are they? Look at that. Right. So, approaching the blue zone. And then, if you notice on the left hand side, it says surface scanner out of range. And what you want to be doing is the planet needs to fill that circular reticle in the middle there at least, and then come off the throttle. And you'll see that it then changes from out of range to too fast, which means you're in a good spot to activate your probe launcher. Okay, so this planet is fairly large, 7 probes required. So the way that I approach a 7 probe planet is I still do my Mickey Mouse scan, which is basically, there's the ears. Now, and there's the chin, and you just do that to start off with. Now, if that was a 6 probe planet, that would definitely map it all. But in this case, I'm guessing it probably won't. But what we can do, we'll just let it do that first. And see if I do indeed need another probe. Yeah. Okay, so it does need one more, as I guessed. But I wanted to show you something. I've got my toggle front to back. As you can see, I've almost caused the same shape both sides. So I think if I'd have been a bit more... No, I really don't think I would have done it in 3 anyway. But I'm just going to show you how you hit the middle of the back side of a planet. So basically, you've got your horizon, which is that hatched line right there. And then if you keep moving down, you get to the point where it says miss. Now, as you might guess, if you get somewhere in the middle, right about there, I'm guessing, and fire your probe, it will go all the way around and hit the middle of the other side of the planet. So we're currently looking at the rear of the planet. That's the front, that's the rear. And let's just see. It's a great little target practice game that you can play with yourself. So let's just see where that hits. Oh, a little bit over. In fact, a little bit under, because I fired underneath. So yeah, I could have done a little bit better with that one. Anyway, there you go. So that's how I go about doing my probing. Now, we do have a lot of bodies. Now, the way that I'm going to do this now is that I'm just going to choose the next closest, just to be efficient in my travel. They aren't too far away anyway, so this won't take long. And then we're going to go and have a look at that notable stellar phenomena, or phenomenum. And I'm conscious of time because I do want to reach that planetary nebula as well. And we've got 18 jumps, won't take long. We'll just quickly map this one out. A total surprise that we've stumbled across a very interesting system. A very nice one as well. We'll just amble along. Hopefully I'll pick up some speed in a minute. Stuck in a gravity well. Probably because I got a little bit too close to that last planet. Wasn't paying attention there. Excuse me. Yeah, so we have got that notable stellar phenomenon to go and look at, which I'm looking forward to finding out what may be lurking inside. I'll quickly map this planet. It's certainly worth, when you find something like that, it's certainly worth mapping the system. Get your name on it, so you can say, hey, I was here. Why not? Oh, and there's that bug. It's actually showing us mapped already. 7 probes, so let's do a Mickey Mouse probing. So ears. When I'm in a hurry, I'm not too bothered. There's 3 there, and then 1 in his face. And that should be enough to map that. We shall see. No, wants 1 more. Okay, then right round the back in the middle. Hey, True mate, I found the big crystals with my last journey. Excellent. Yeah, well, I found those as well, and I like finding the little creatures that are in there as well. I think they're almost more interesting than the other things that you might find. Right, that's that mapped. Let's go to this map here. So I've mapped that. I've not mapped the water world. Right, let's just map the water world. And do you know what? I'll leave the other planets. Now, there's a reason why I do that. It's not just because I'm taking the water world and, oh yeah, it's all money, baby. Because, to be quite honest, I don't need the credits. But it does mean that someone else can put their name on an interesting system, and I think it's only polite to leave a couple of bodies for someone else to put their name on when you find something quite interesting like that. It's just I'm a bit of a gent when it comes to things like that. I think if you find something nice. Hey Tritry mate, no signal on my current exploration. No, but I'm sure you'll find one. I mean, I just stumbled one right in the middle of a live stream, which was very fortunate. But yeah, there's a number of little creatures that fly around, and if you have a look at the codex, you can see what sort of things are out there that you might be able to discover. But they all do different things. There's ones that will electrify your ship if you get too close, and they actually damage your ship as well. There's others that will fly away if you put your lights on, and all sorts of interesting things that you can go and take a look at. Oh, I'm going to do the leap of shame now because I'm not looking where I'm going. That's the big trouble with having an anaconda. They don't move very well. They're not very nimble in Super Cruise, and you do find sometimes it can be a bit of a pain. And the smaller, more nimble ships are a little bit more forgiving. You can sort of do a little dip to stop yourself overshooting. Or if you're not really bothered, you can just fly straight into the planet, and that stops you straight away. But you do take damage doing that. Okay, let's quickly map this one out, and we'll go and see what we found in that notable phenomenon. Well, it's another 7 prober, so Mickey Mouse, do the ears, do the chin, rush in, and I'm going to fire one round the back as well. There we go, that's mapped. Let's crack on to the stellar phenomena. Alright, let's find it. There we go. Okay.
Surface scan complete.
Let's go and find it. Do 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 do. Oh, the excitement mounts now. Here we go. What will we find? Oh, I hope it's something that I've not discovered before myself. Obviously, the codex kind of gives the game away. And tells you what other things might be out there, but certainly initially it's always nice to find it for yourself. Of course, if you're desperate and you've not had any luck finding these things, because they are rare, they are hard to find, then obviously you can use the codex to go and find them by going to the same place where they originally discovered. So that's a nice feature as well. So let's approach this phenomena and see what we find. Okay, no loop of shame this time. Now, one thing I used to do a lot was explore on the most lightweight build I could possibly make, which meant that I didn't even carry any weapons. But because I've got such a good jump range and a big ship, and I've already been out, because this is Distance Worlds 2, so I did the very first one, so I've been there, seen that, and done that. So I'm taking weapons and all that sort of stuff, mining gear, so that I can, and even repair limpets, so that if other commanders get in trouble, I can repair their ships. So it's kind of a multi-role ship. Of course, when you're exploring, one thing your ship never will be is a fighter, and so when you do get people that try to interrupt your fun, it's always best to run, because no exploration ship is going to deal with a ship that's equipped to do harm. Let's just speed up, see what we got. So we got the star crystals. But I'm also interested to find out what little creatures lurk within the cloud. And they'll start to appear on the scanner. I'm on maximum range at the moment and nothing's showing. Giving that a boost. Won't be the first time that I've boosted into them and woken some of them up quite rudely by batting them away with my anaconda. So we're looking for signals, And what we want to do is just keep moving into this cluster of stars. Be careful though, because they can damage your ship if you fly into them. They're quite big. But what we're looking for is a little cluster, and they need to be resolved really in the scanner. At the moment you see they're all flashing. Let's see if we can see any on our contacts. Nothing in range yet. Okay, let's try moving into this cluster of stars a bit more. Still no contacts. I have a feeling they're behind me, you know. I think they might be that big cluster of object. Oh, there's a white one there. What's that? What is that? Oh, it's a albulum gold mollusk. Ooh. There he goes, the cute little fella. Is that it making that noise? So let's just go into the camera view and have a closer look. He's going to hit my ship. Wasn't my fault. Alright, let's get in the free camera mode and have a look to see what we've found. There he goes. Interesting little thing. Oh, look at that, right in the Distant Worlds logo. So that's the sort of thing that you can expect to find out here. Very nice. What a nice discovery in a live stream. Okay, so what we need to do as well, now we've come here and found this, of course, is we actually need to make sure that we record it in our codecs. So we need to scan this stuff. So let's do that now. So in our exploration mode, comp scanner. Oh, don't worry, it won't hurt. So I've scanned him now, so that says that that's been entered into my codecs. Now, some people can be cruel and, you know, have got weapons, and you can discover whether or not it reacts to things. I feel a bit cruel doing it though. Okay, doesn't seem to be affecting it. Oh, it didn't like that though. Did you hear the noise it made? It went. Right, let's change weapons. What do we want? I've got a multi-cannon. We could try that. Oh, I need to back off a little bit. He's a bit too close. I don't want to kill it. I just want to see, because sometimes it says, "Oh, you found a reaction." It's not damaging it. But I've got friend and foe weaponry as well, so that I can heal shields and not kill people by accident, because I'm a nice guy. So anyway, there you go. It hasn't reacted to anything. Should we try our lights as well? See if it reacts to lights. Nope, that's about it. Okay. There we go. Interesting stuff. Right, what we need to do now is just scan these crystals as well. Wouldn't it be interesting if you could collect one? So there's metallic crystals there. Let me just do a comp scan on that as well. Get that added into our codex. There we go. Oh, and it's a new discovery for this sector. Nice. But these are quite big. If I just move in, I'll show you that they're not things that you want to fly fast into. You know, like small asteroid size. Let's get a look outside now. And have a little look. And as you can see, they actually rotate as well. So you will end up getting clobbered by one. But that's why it's always good to have shields. But yeah, you can make some nice pretty screenshots and stuff like that you can do with these. You see there's me Anaconda with the weapons out. Got a massive multi-cannon at the bottom there. Again, I'm not out here to go fighting people, because trust me when I tell you that no exploration ship will stand a chance against anyone equipped for combat and not exploration. Anyway, there you go. It's very nice, isn't it? Very nice discovery for a live stream. So, with all that done, it's time to press on, because we really do need to get to that planetary nebula. So let's get going. There we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed finding that with me. It was a pleasure to have you along to see that. Well, I was very fortunate to find something so interesting as that in a live stream. Yeah, very interesting. Don't need the ship lights on anymore. Let's have a quick look here. Nothing worth carrying on with that. 34 light year jump. Okay, that must mean we're approaching a neutron star soon. 17 jumps to go. I think we're on time. We should be good. So one of my favourite things about Elite is the scenes that you get, and obviously little finds like that always make it quite sweet. But also in terms of taking some nice stunning images, can be really satisfying. I do find that you get better images the higher up you are in the galactic plane, or lower of course, because you're out of the dust. And getting close to a nebula or planetary nebula always makes for a good screenshot or two. So it's some of my favourite things. Distant Worlds is always a great expedition. And eventually we'll end up on the other side of the galaxy. And trust me, that is no walk in the park. It's an endurance test. And I did kind of explore that side of the galaxy before the very first expedition, and I can tell you now, it's a lonely experience. Once you get about 1,000, 2,000 light years away from what we call the bubble, you won't see another ship for that entire rest of your journey, which makes it really weird when you come back home and all of a sudden there's a signal and it's a ship, and you're like, whoa, there's another ship. I've not seen a ship for like 6 months. And quite literally that's how long I was out for before I came back, and that was crazy. And that was back in the day when you didn't get much money for exploration. Okay, what we got here? No, nothing really that I'm interested in. We need to get shifting. Well, hopefully I've paced this just right, because I do need to end the stream at 9 o'clock. Excuse me. But I just thought an hour and a half of live stream. Final test of the rig I've got set up, which would be the computer, microphone and sound and everything else. And another chance to say hello to anyone that would like to view these videos. It's always nice to have someone along to watch. Of course, a lot of people like to watch them after the stream. Everyone's got other things to do and stuff, so that's always good. But hopefully I can improve my content and make it something worth watching for everybody. No, I'm almost thinking that might be a water giant there, but I'm not convinced, so I'm going to crack on. I think I did prefer it when you used to be able to view the map, because the other thing, or one of my most favourite things, is finding interesting orbits of planets. And the only way that you can identify planets and their orbits now is having to go through and scan everything. And when you find a system and there's like 70, 80 bodies, do you really want to go and scan all of those? It's like, oh no, seriously. I mean, if I'm there for a scenic reason, like to take screenshots and video, then yes, I will scan everybody. But if I'm just trying to get to a destination such as this, where I'm heading towards a planetary nebula, I really don't have the patience to go and scan all 80, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, because my objective is to go to these interesting sites that I see on the galaxy map, as opposed to any other reason, really. And that's what makes the galaxy map so interesting, and a tool that you need to use a lot if you want to go and find these interesting places. Because all the planetary nebula I've found so far has been through, well, I would say 90% has been through just looking around on the galaxy map, just scrolling around, looking around, and a number of occasions where that's really, why is it so dark? That happens sometimes. I don't know if it's a bug there. It seems quite dark down here, but then of course I'm used to being up in the higher levels of the galactic plane for screenshots. Right now I'm kind of right in the middle, where it's all dusty and murky. But yeah, what I was saying is that, what was I saying? Yeah, I go for the more scenic areas and stuff. Oh yeah, the other 10%. The other 10% of the planetary nebulas I found, and that's why I was moved on to the sky map, was basically, if I give you an example, as I move away from this star, things will brighten up out in the distance, as you will see in a minute, just to show you. And you can already start to see, like, there's like a little nebula over there. It might be massive, it was just far away. Lots of little nebula showing up there. Now those are all proper bona fide nebulas, but sometimes you'll see a star and it's not white. I mean, that's obviously a planet body, you can see it moving. See that? And we used to do that back in the day. We used to look for things moving so we could go and find them, because we didn't have a scanner that would find them. It all sounds crazy, eh? Back in the day. So yeah, that's obviously a planet right there. But no, in terms of the stars, you'll find a star and it's like blue. I mean, a deep blue or a red. And you think, well, that doesn't quite look right. Why does that look right? And then you have to triangulate using the galaxy map to find out where it is. And you'll find yourself a planetary nebula. And so I found that a few times as well. And they're normally within about 300 light years of your position if you can find them, and they're quite small. So it doesn't take too much searching around once you know what you're doing. And I'll do a video tutorial on how to find that very situation. Right, so anyway, I do just want to quickly check this and see if there's anything worth looking at. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. No. So let's crack on. So anyway, I will be able to show you exactly what I'm talking about soon, because as we approach this planetary nebula, you'll be able to start to see it. But at the moment, I'm really puzzled by why it's so dark around the stars. So we're not that many jumps away now, but I don't think you'll see the planetary nebula until we're about 300 light years away, is my guess. And with my jump range, that won't take long at all. In fact, if it was off a neutron star, it would be one jump, which is kind of bizarre, thinking about what it used to be like back in the old days of Elite Dangerous, when you had a maximum jump range of, you know, a puny, what, 30, 40 light years. I can remember getting to one system one time, and there was this star that I wanted to get to, and it was 0.1 of a light year out of reach. And I was like, if I only had 0.1 more of a light year, I could get to that star, and it would look really special. And it was, you know, it's like 41.1, and only had 41 light years. And that's why I quite often say, oh, jump range, it's so important when you're exploring. You want to find these weird things. Every little point of a light year that you can squeeze out of your ship adds to that distance that little bit further that you can go and find those things that no one else has ever seen before. Now, is it me, or is this just like, why is it so dark? That's a cluster of planets going past there. Let's see that. But yeah, that would have been a gas giant and a load of little moons that you saw there. But the sky map is so dark. Why is that? I don't get it. Let's look at the galaxy map and just see if there's any explanation why it is so dark. Oh, this is where we're heading. And we're nearly at our destination as well. But I can't see any reason why the sky map is so dark. That does not make any sense. We're not in any dark nebula. In fact, we're nowhere near a nebula right now. So that just doesn't make any sense. Why is it so dark? Anyway, never mind, let's crack on. Now, we can't see that nebula unless it's that star there below there where that circle is now pointing down at. I doubt it. It's just that the sky map is so dark. It's I'm not sure why it's so dark. I'm sure it's a bug. It never used to be like that. It could be just the dust and the fact that I'm, you know, quite on the level of the galactic plane where all the dust is, which isn't always a good place for taking screenshots, to be fair. Treating my windows tinted. I don't think so. But what I can do is get outside of the ship in the camera view and take a look to see if things brighten up a little bit. But yeah, it seems so dark. Almost tempted to look at my gamma settings, but then the immersion's broken, right? Right, let's see if there's anything interesting here anyway. Ooh, no, all right, asteroid clusters. I doubt very much that we would find two lots of phenomenon in 1 hour and a half live stream. Let's face it. And if you just joined, you don't know what you're talking about. You can just rewind a bit, and you'll see that we found a phenomenon in a system live, which is quite rare because they are rare things to find. So that was nice. And we are almost at our destination, which is the Planetary Nebula, which hopefully should make for a good screenshot or two. Another neutron star. So the way we approach these is we level out like so that it's horizontal, and then you look to see which end of the beam is the closest, and you point your ship towards that. Roll it round, and then you enter the stream basically as it's going away from you, around about like that. So probably a little bit of throttle, not too much, gently in, because there's nothing more frustrating than going straight through the beam and out the other side without charging your drive, and then having to go right back round, especially in Anaconda, to carry on charging. There we go, we've done that, so then it's just hit full throttle. Okay, should we just have a quick look to see if there was anything interesting in this system? I can't remember how many bodies it said there was. Oh, what's that? Just, oh, 2 bodies. Should we scan them? Just quickly scan them, wherever they are. Where they be hiding? Oh, there's one. And one more somewhere. There it is. That. There we go. I've completed the system scan. Right, let's crack on. 283 light year jump for the next one. How far away are we now? 9 jumps. Because when I get close, I want to be able to show you how it looks in the sky map when you start to see and identify a planetary nebula. So I hope that the sky map lightens up. Otherwise, I might just have to do an immersion breaking gamma increase to see if I can see if that might be the problem, but it only seems to be a recent phenomenon where I've found that the sky map seems to be a lot darker than it used to, and you can't see that many stars. There's another neutron star, okay. So again, okay, so the largest end is now this way, so we'll just rotate that way. There's nothing else in the system to look at. But what I do query that, you know, because when I do that, and it says just one body, and obviously it's the neutron star, you still have to think, but then is there anything else that I might find that doesn't get picked up in that particular type of scan? For example, those notable phenomenons. And then you feel silly having a look anyway. Let's just have a quick look. No, there isn't. Okay. Yes, I'm crazy. I'm using that whilst I'm in a jet stream. Right. Okay. The next star is an M class star, which means I'll be able to get some fuel from it, which is good because I'll be on less than half a tank after this jump. Okie dokie, let's pick up some fuel. Bit of hardcore scooping. Two bodies. I could sit here for a second and just have a look using this if there's anything worth scanning. Icy bodies and gas giants. Not today, thank you very much. So we'll just move on. We are now 7 jumps away from our target system. Let's just look at the galaxy map while we may move away from that star. And there's another neutron star jump there by the looks of it. But we're nearly at our system. There's quite a few neutron star jumps, so we might struggle to see this planetary nebula unless I, of course, avoid doing a massive jump towards it. But that's what we're heading to right there, and you can see It's a bit glitchy, but you can actually see that there's actually a nebula there, and it should look nice from another system, and hopefully from inside as well if it's a nice colour. But again, look how dark this sky map is. It just doesn't seem right. Why is it so dark? That is pitch black. I'm going to get outside the ship here for a minute and see what's going on. Okay, sorry about that. Right, let's have a look around. So, no way should it be that dark. There's not hardly any stars showing in the sky map. What is that all about? Behind us we can see stars. And there's the galactic core. Or have I really gone that high in the galactic plane? I don't think I'm that high. That's crazy. And there goes a little system, a little cluster of planets there. Well, that does look nice. The galactic core. And we're going to be heading... Oh, we could be quite high up looking at that, to be honest. Looking down at the nebula. Well, maybe we have gone quite high up then. I can't remember how high up this nebula was that I found. Let's have a look at the galactic map and see how high we are. Oh, yeah, we're 1,000 light years. 1,500 light years up. So, yeah, I guess it will be a little bit darker. I shouldn't go. See, you have to stop me when I go into the galaxy map, because that's when I start hunting out little objects to look for and fly to. And that's exactly how I found this planetary nebula that we're going to now, because I spend a lot of time, and in fact probably more time in the galaxy map than I do flying the ship, looking for interesting systems just by using my Mark 1 eyeball and just my general intuition about what looks good and what doesn't. But there we go. Okay, right, anyway. So yeah, we've gone quite high up. Let's move on. A-class star, so that'll be nice and bright. Again, another star that you can scoop fuel from. Fuel scooping. 28 bodies. 6 jumps. Quick look at this and see if there's anything interesting to look at. The answer to that question is no. So let's keep going. I mean, I say that, but I could be well missing some interesting orbits, but unfortunately I don't have the time right now to scan everything that I jump to. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. That's another neutron star. Commander Dognosh, what a great name. Let's come online. About 20 minutes left of the stream, which should fit in quite nicely with my plan. Ooh, that one's spinning fast. Okay, each side pretty much looks the same to me. Which way, left or right? I'm going to go left. 18 bodies, that's quite a busy system as well. Okay, first thing we want to do though is just scoop up some neutron fusion power to increase my jump range. neutron stars look scary, but I can tell you from experience, the worst stars, the ones that can really cause some trouble, are the dwarf stars. They can really ruin your day, because their jet cone, if you like, is shorter. It's quite easy to get knocked out of supercruise and find yourself in a lot of trouble. But I will do a video on how to recover from that situation. It doesn't always work, of course. You've got to be lucky as well, but the sort of best thing that you can do in that scenario type video should be interesting. Should see me blow up a few times when I do that one. Right, let's just see what we've got in this system. Just some high metal world. Ooh, we have that's ammonia worlds, water worlds combined. Right, where art thou, water or ammonia world? Not there. Not there. I could have scanned them really, couldn't I? Alright. Down this way. Excuse me. There we go. Right, yep. I'm not going to hang around because I do want to get to that Planetary Nebula before the end of the stream.
Frameshift drive charging.
5 jumps to go. Don't think I can see the Planetary Nebula either, but then we have got some rather large jumps to do. Like I say, the sort of visual range of a Planetary Nebula is about 300 light years. Of course, that does depend on the size of the nebula, of course.
Fuel
4
scooping.
bodies, 2 stars. Have a quick peek. Just some gas giants. Lovely. Not for me though, thank you.
Frameshift drive.
If you're a completionist watching this, you're probably pulling your hair out by now, but just for the sake of this stream, I would have scanned that probably, but I just want to get to this final destination. 4, 3, 2. We should soon be there. 3 jumps. 3 jumps to the Planetary Nebula. Okay. Have a quick look to see if there's anything interesting. Gas giants, rocky bodies, blah blah blah. No. Let's press on. Just 3 jumps to go. I think there's another neutron star jump in that little batch of jumping as well, so won't be long. I'm not sure I like the fact that the sky map's so dark up here. It shouldn't be, I don't think. I think we should be able to see more stars. It certainly didn't used to look like that back in the day. You certainly could see a lot more stars. So once we've scooped a bit of fuel, I'm just going to see how far away we are from that Planetary Nebula.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
So it's only 189 light years away. So if that's the case, I should be able to see it in the sky map. So I'm just going to select it which will pinpoint it in the sky map. Now, that's interesting. Let me just quickly do a... No, nothing there. But this is interesting now. I may be looking up bug report because, okay, something's kind of showing. Let's get away from that main star, make sure we're not getting light pollution, but that should be standing out really well. Stuck in a gravity well of one of those bodies, I think, but you shouldn't do that if you don't scan them. It might have picked it up though by flying past it. Who knows? But anyway, as you can see, there's a bright star over there, kind of in the centre of the screen now. That's showing it well. That's a bright star. That's a bright star. Those are bright stars. We are heading towards that massive planetary nebula, which I've now got a circle round just so you can see it. And frankly, that's awful. You can't even see it. I mean, there's a tiny speck in the distance, and that doesn't make any sense. So some people say that if you get outside the ship it may look brighter. Let's see. Get rid of that. Let's see. Yep, no, I'm not happy about that. That's kind of ruined finding planetary nebula. And I don't think it's a gamma setting. I hate, sorry about the immersion breaking here, but that's annoying. Let's see. Gamma. Let's whack it right up a minute and just see if that makes any difference. Not really, just everything looks a lot brighter. And I'm guessing everything looks really horrible now. Just have a look back at the galactic core. Oh god damn, that's terrible now. That's too bright, isn't it? That is too bright. It's a nice orange hue, but yeah, I think the gamma might be a bit too high now. But the point is, I'm all the way up here, some 1,500 light years above the galactic plane. And that target star that you can see now right in the middle of the screen is a planetary nebula, and it should be showing a lot more than it does. That's quite frustrating, and I've just whacked the gamma right up as well. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit because that's just a little bit over the top. Probably looks terrible. Let's go something like that. There we go. Yeah, sorry about for the immersion breaking in. That didn't really happen. No, we really are out in space. Right. What? Oh, yeah, because I'm not. That's just pinpointing where the star was. Look at that. Look, you can't see it. Disgusting. Okay. Neutron star, and then the next jump will arrive us at the nebula. Well, it can do. I think maybe what we'll do first is we'll go to a star next door so we can see it from the outside. Hi X gamers. D-scanner. D-scanner. Do you want to a D-scanner? D-scanner. Okay. Oh, D-scanner. Are you meaning the scanner? I'm here. It's the Discovery scanner. Yes. That's what it does, and it discovers things, and it's discovered in this case in the top right, if you look, 7 planetary bodies. And as soon as I've scooped from this neutron star, you'll I'll show you what those 7 might look like. As we're so close to this planetary nebula now, it'll be worth just quickly scanning what's in this system anyway, even if it doesn't look interesting to me. But I'm gonna guess that a lot of people have been here already because it is a planetary nebula, and let's face it, everybody swarms to a planetary nebula, right? Okay, let's see. All high metal, all metal rich bodies. Actually worth quite a lot. 7 of them. All metal rich. Bizarre. That suggests to me that no one's been here before. That can't be true. We're right next to a planetary nebula and it's a neutron star. Okay, let's quickly scan this anyway, and I'm amazed that this hasn't already been scanned. Because we're not that far away from the bubble, really. But then the Milky Way is big, right?
System scan complete.
Okay, let's quickly look at the galaxy map, or system map, should I say? Look at that. What? No one's ever been here. What an interesting looking system. They are all rotating at the same speed. That's quite rare. No volcanism. They're all landable as well. No volcan. Not any of them have got a point of interest on. Because if they did have, quite honestly, I would have probably gone down and had a look on the planet's surface. But it's quite boring, really. But nice to see, though. And how closely are those two orbiting? Wow, really far apart. 429 days. Wow, they're not close by any means. It might look like they're close there, but they certainly aren't. Anyway, let's push on then, because we are now heading off to our final destination. And that is the Planetary Nebula. So, question is, do we jump straight into the nebula, or should we jump just off to the side? Let's have a look. Where do we want to be? Where's the closest star? It's got to be that one, isn't it? Oh, and it's an A-class star. That's going to be really bright. But it seems to be the closest star to the nebula. Let's go there first. Let's go and have a look. This is what we come here for after all, right? And you can't really see it when you're inside it, so let's just jump to the nearest system and hopefully get a good view. Okay, here we are at the system.
Fuel scooping. System scan complete.
Oh, okay. So we're not going to be able to do a view from a planet because we've just got 2 stars in this system and they seem to be orbiting quite closely as well.
Fuel scooping complete.
Oh, okay, we're not that close. Look at that. No, definitely not close at all. 271 light seconds away. Right, anyway, what we need to do now is we need to just head away from that star as quickly as possible, because that star is causing light pollution, and that light pollution, like it does on Earth, affects what you can see in the dark, in the night sky. Now what we want to be looking at, of course, is that nebula, so I'm just going to fly away from the main star to reduce the amount of light pollution that we're getting, and then we'll turn around and have a look and see what this planetary nebula looks like. From outside. Okay. Let's go into the galaxy map and target it for reference. There we go. That is now targeted. Oh, look at that, it's going to be pointing right towards where the galactic core is. I would have rather been on the other side of it, really, so it lights up better in the dark. But anyway, let's go with that for now. So it's directly behind us pretty much. Now if I adjust my ship and get it right behind us, then I should be able to jump outside the ship, rotate round, let's have a look, and we hopefully will be able to see it. Unfortunately the galactic core is going to spoil it a bit, but there it is, that splodge in the sky. We really need to be on the other side there. So what I will probably do is try and find a closer star which is the other side, so we don't have to look at it and into the galactic core, which you can see is really bright. But as you can see, one thing that's worth mentioning is that because we're quite high up now in the galactic plane, I think you get nicer views and it all looks a little bit more surreal, and you can see all those nebula out there, and yeah, generally overall a nice view. Right, let's go to the main event and jump to the nebula.
Frameshift drive charging.
It's a Wolf-Rayet star, so we will not be scooping any fuel from it, and sometimes they can be quite fast spinning, but we will see. There we go, our final destination. Once we get inside the nebula, it might be a nice view. Give us a different colour sky map. There we are. 5 bodies. It'd be nice if one of them was landable. And by the looks of it, I would guess that someone's been here before. It is a planetary nebula, not far away, really. So that looks like we're getting a green hue already. Look at that. Very nice. Anyway, let's quickly look at our scanner and see what we've got. It was interesting, it wasn't showing anything. Okay, so it's got to be metal rich and just one, and I'm guessing it's probably not going to be landable. Where are you? No, not there. Where are we? Elusive. Where is it? Ah, there it is. I'm sure someone's been here before, and it's been mapped as well. No volcanism, no locations. What a shame. Inside the nebula. Okay, but what we can do is just head towards that planet a little bit anyway, and that's it there. Let's give you an outside view anyway. It should look quite nice. Got the blue hue of the star. Very nice. You got the ship. This is what it's all about. Distant worlds. That's from the first expedition. And that's my role in this expedition. Heavy support. Big ship, and can repair shields and hulls and general assistance basically. to help those new explorers that may get into a bit of trouble. So there we go, we've made it to our planetary nebula. And we should still be heading towards that planet. And I think I can now see it. Yep. Right there. So what we'll do is we'll snap a screenshot from that planet and celebrate a job well done and making it to our planetary nebula. Whilst we make this final little last jog towards the planet, if you've got any questions that you want to ask me before I close and end the stream, now's a good time. I hope you found it interesting. I think the highlight for me was finding that phenomenon. They are rare, and to find one and stumble across one in a live stream is pretty cool. So I'm quite impressed with that. Unfortunately, this planet hasn't got anything worth looking at whilst we land. I mean, there might be some nice craters and stuff, but it's nice to have a geological feature as well, or biological. Well, let's end the stream with something that always scares people. What happens if you crash into a planet? Oh, what happens if you just miss it completely? The answer. Oh, should I give away a spoiler? Or should I do a video on what happens when you fly flat out into a planet? Maybe I will. So, let's just get a nice close-up of this planet. Hopefully it has some interesting surface features that will make for a good screenshot. Because all the brightness is coming from behind, it probably makes sense to come around this side of the planet. And look to see if there's any surface marks that make it interesting. There's some big gouges, actually. That's interesting. Should we land? Should we just finish by landing? Let's find an interesting surface feature to land at. Actually, there's a big ravine there. Let's pull round. Oh yeah, that looks nice. We'll go in.
Orbital flight engaged.
This looks interesting. It's a big gouge in the planet's surface. Let's go for there, I think. Of course, I've not landed here before. I've not even checked the gravity, but I think we're okay. We're on, what's that, 0.71 G. So we're good. Just eke out this a little bit, just to make sure we reach that, what looks like to be an interesting feature. Looks like a mountain range. And if you look where the shadow is on the mountain range, if we go for that light ridge, it should make for a nice screenshot, because you'll probably get a bit of the sun or the local star causing a nice view on that mountain ridge. That's the plan anyway. So let's do that. So we're just gliding towards that ridge there. You can see right on the bow of my ship. It might make for an interesting screen. He says as the shadows disappear, it becomes nothing. Okay, well what looked like to be a ridge kind of isn't a ridge anymore. doing in terms of gravity and falling? Not looking good at the moment. We really need to slow down. We don't want to crash on the ground in a live stream, do we? There we go. We're still being thrust forward a lot though. Anyway. Let's just get down and land now then, I think, and we'll end the stream. Where's the local star? There. Okay. Landing gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
Find a spot. Let's see. Over there looks quite smooth. That'll do. And here we are. So there we go. Safely landed. And that's our destination, the Planetary Nebula. And there's the nice green hue that we came for. Pity there's not a lot of stuff to see on the planet's surface. Like I say, a geological or biological thing would have been nice to see. But you do get a nice sky. And can we see any planetary any other proper nebula or anything anywhere? Let's have a look. No, just a green sky box. Okay, well at least we found that phenomenon in the system. But there you go. So I think I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. We made it. Here we are on a slightly barren planet. But it's been a good trip, and I'll thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next live stream. And until then, fly safe and take it easy.